A VOA investigation uncovers new details about a deadly Malaysian landslide. Hello and welcome to VOA Asia Weekly. I'm Jessica Stone here in Washington. We'll get to that story in just a moment, but first, Indonesian President Joko Widodo inaugurated a $7.3 billion high-speed railway connecting the country's capital, Jakarta, with the city of Bandung. The Chinese-made bullet train is built to transport more than 600 people in just 45 minutes. The chairman of China Evergrande, Hui Kaiyan, is under investigation on suspicion of transferring assets offshore. That's according to a Wall Street Journal report on Monday. Evergrande has more than $300 billion in total liabilities. Millions are expected to travel this autumn holiday week across China. The Great Wall in Beijing and Westlake in Hangzhou were visibly crowded. The Ministry of Transport predicts that a record-breaking 2 billion trips will be made during the celebration. 2 weeks of joint military exercises are underway in Philippine waters. 1,800 troops from Canada, Japan, the U.S., and Britain will participate just days after Beijing blocked Philippine fishermen in the South China Sea. And 2023 is now the deadliest year due to dengue fever in Bangladesh. The National Health Service says more than 200,000 cases were recorded this year. More than 1,000 people have died. It has now been 9 months since a deadly landslide struck a campsite in Bandung, Malaysia. And while the families of the victims wait on a government investigation, VOA has done an investigation of its own, uncovering new documents that tell a story about that campsite. Dave Grunebaum has our report.
A company in this urban business park on the outskirts of Malaysia's capital, Kuala Lumpur, appears to have a connection to a deadly disaster. A landslide in the countryside community of Bandung Kali, about 50 kilometers north. 31 people were killed in December after the earth swept over their tents overnight at a campsite on Father's organic farm. 9.5 months later, the government has not released findings from its investigation.
The family wants accountability, all right? And also, we want steps to be taken to prevent these incidents from happening again.
Also killed in the landslide was 7-year-old Zek, the only child of Lo Teng Shui and his wife, Tan Een.
The family deserves the full, comprehensive and filtered report, which covers all aspects, not just the technicality of the landslide.
Land records reviewed by VOA show that at the time of the landslide, the farm and campsite were on property owned by Malaysia Botanical Gardens Resort. The company lists its offices in this tower in Horizon Office Park, the same building that's the headquarters for Nirvana Asia Group, a funeral service provider that's controlled by one of the country's wealthiest families. Nirvana Asia is led by Kang Yu-Fung, pictured on the company's website, and his father, Kang Hong Kong, whose net worth Forbes estimates at $860 million. Records kept by the company's Commission of Malaysia list both Kongs as directors at Malaysia Botanical Gardens Resort. The Kongs turned down VOA's request for an interview. VOA also recently reviewed an Environmental Impact Assessment, or EIA report, but was not allowed to photograph or record video of it. The report shows that in 2013, the Department of Environment approved a proposal for a resort, but the site where Father's Organic Farm was operating later was in a different area. Tek Win Lim is an honorary associate professor of geography at the University of Nottingham, Malaysia.
The EIA makes it quite clear that the area for the farm campsite was not to be developed, and the implication is that it was not safe to be developed.
Several days after the landslide, however, a government official said Father's had a permit to operate as an organic farm, but the state did not have a specific license for campsites. But a crucial question remains.
How did the farm get the permit to operate?
They did not get permission from the Department of the Environment.
So far, government officials have refused to discuss details of their investigation. They have told local media they'll release the findings this month, something families of the victims say is long overdue. Dave Grunebaum, VOA News, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
And finally, welcome to the world, little lady. This female Sumatran Rhino is learning how to walk and eat. She was born at a national park in Sumatra, Indonesia on Saturday. Sumatran rhinos are the smallest of the living rhinos and have 2 horns. Fewer than 80 Sumatran rhinos are left in the entire world. Thanks for watching VOA Asia Weekly. I'm Jessica Stone in Washington. We'll see you next week.